All right, so fractions lesson number 2. We're starting to really get into doing some beginning operations with fractions, which is really actually the goal of this entire unit. All right, so in fractions lesson 2, it was a little bit more independent, and the real thing I wanted to get across was the use of Khan Academy, okay? So Khan Academy has great videos, so you've hopefully watched the one about adding and subtracting fractions, and then hopefully you went through and were able to sign up and then practice the 2 practice activities that were in there about adding and subtracting fractions. And that was pretty much all I wanted us to get as far as doing today. So that's why most of the reflection was about Khan Academy. But I wanted to take a second, and then I'm going to come back here just to make sure you were getting the key parts of the video. So first off, just a quick recap. This is about what we talked about in that very first assignment, which is remembering that when you're learning from a video, which is what you're doing right now, you have to not just watch the video and expect to learn everything. So you're going to have to take some time to pause the video, repeat it, listen to it multiple times, read the comments if that helps, putting away your phone. All of these things are going to be really important strategies to learn from a video. And if you ever forget, they're all written down right here for you, right in this lesson will be there, or they're also on that Padlet where you all shared a bunch of different ideas. Okay, so don't expect to just watch it once and understand it. You may have to watch it multiple times. But what I wanted to just sort of cover is flipping over here is what it means when we're talking about adding and subtracting fractions with the same denominator. Now, these are all adding questions, but I'm actually going to probably treat some of these as subtractions. So when we're adding fractions with the same denominator or the same bottom number, hopefully what you notice is the trend that if the bottom number is the same, and you're going to have to excuse my really poor writing here, the bottom number of your answer will always be the same, and the top number will be the numerators added together. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So that would equal 3/3, which is the same thing as 1 whole. All right, so when we're adding together fractions, the numerator with the same numerator, same denominators, numerators get added together, denominators stay the same. Which makes sense. If you picture it and you had 2 quarters and then another quarter of something, in total you're going to have 3 quarters. All right? And sometimes you're going to end up with mixed numbered fractions. So 5 quarters and 3 quarters mean altogether you're going to have 8 quarters. And if I take something that's divided into 4, so here, oh no, we're not going to do that. That's too terrible looking. So if I take something and divide it into 4, so there's 1, and then I take the exact same thing, do it again. Okay. Okay. So 5 quarters would be 5 of these sections shaded in. So 1, 2, oh, I can shade really well with my mouse, can't I? 3, 4, 5. So I already am in a mixed number because I need a whole and a little bit more. And then 3 quarters. If I shade that in, what I end up with is 2 wholes. All right, so that's sort of what we're trying to get through here. So this is the most common mistake I will ever see with these questions, okay? And you should be able to look at it right away, and hopefully right away you can see what the mistake is that when you are adding, you immediately say, okay, add the tops. 1 plus 1 is 2, 6 plus 6 is 12, there, it's done. But 1 6 plus 1 6 does not equal 2 12s. That's way too tiny. Okay, something divided by into 6 is and then something divided in 12s. This is way too small if we're adding. Adding needs to get bigger. Okay, so hopefully we notice right away that our error is in this part, and that in fact needs to be in 6, because 1 6 plus another 6 would be 2 6. All right, looking at questions like this, which again is a helpful visual, if you have something divided into 4 and 2 of them are shaded in, and something divided by 2 and 1 of them is shaded in, you can think of it either as this being 2/4 and a half, or we can also think of this one as also just being, oh, that's terrible. Let's fix that. 1 sec. All right, I'll use my cheating line here. There we go, that's way better. So if I divide that in half, now suddenly which was done in halves is now split into 4 pieces, and it has 2 shaded in. So 2/4 plus 2/4 would be 4/4, which is the same thing as a whole. Or you could also think of, if you could erase this line, a half plus a half is a whole. So on this one we have 2/3 shaded in and 4/6 shaded in, but if I just divide up this into 6, so it's the same as this one, now the math is easy. This is 4/6, that's 4/6, so in total I have 8/6, which is the same thing as 1 whole, because if this piece filled in here and this piece filled in there, that makes my whole, with 2/6 left over. And then finally, this is one that's been broken into 4/5 here. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7/10. So I have 7/10 and 4/5. It would be a lot easier to just break this up into being 8/10. So then it's 8/10 and 7/10, which would be 15/10, or 1 and 5/10. Okay, so that's really what we want to hopefully get as our message here. And subtraction is just the same thing. The only difference is you have to put your bigger number first. So I'm going to just leave this problem here as maybe one you can solve. So you could pause the video now, take a second, see if you can solve it to figure out how much pizza Ronnie and Zach ate all together. All right, did you pause? Okay. Hopefully you paused and now you have an answer. Do you? Okay, good. If your answer is that you change the 3/4 into being 6/8, and then you add 6/8 and 7/8 together to be 13/8, which is the same thing as 1 and 5/8, then you have done it perfectly. Okay? All right, so that's sort of where we are with adding fractions with the same denominator. Your lesson 3 was a review of this, so hopefully that, or if it hasn't been posted yet, will be a review of that, and hopefully that is helping clear some things up. Okay? As always, there's extension activities back here on your assignment, and this time it was playing some games, so maybe now go back and play some of these games and see if that helps. All right, till next time, bye.